The Bong Veterans Historical Center and American Legion Post 435 did not let the pandemic stop them from honoring our nation's veterans. They held a flag-raising ceremony at the Bong Center in Superior on Wednesday. We spoke with the center's executive director and some veterans about how the pandemic has impacted those who have served our country.
I'm Dustin Heckman. I'm the Executive Director of the Richard I. Bong Veterans Historical Center. We held a Veterans Day ceremony this week in conjunction with the American Legion Post 435 to honor Veterans Day. With the pandemic, so many things going on, we felt it was important to still honor that day and do something rather than just let the holiday pass without any reference to it. So we were able to hold a flag of remembrance ceremony that really was respectful and honoring of our veterans. I think the biggest thing that we've seen with how it's impacted veterans is some of that isolation factor. When we shut down in March for 2.5 months, we were used to seeing our veteran volunteers every day, and every day on this day of the week we'd see this certain person. And going, that 2.5 months, it was really hard for us, even as staff, not to see our veterans. We see it with a lot of our vets that, they still they feel, isolated and alone. And sometimes we have some of our volunteers that just come in, not at their normal scheduled time just because they want to be around other people. And so, that's been for us a big deal to, how can we help to remove that isolation factor? And, how can we be part of that solution so that way they don't feel so alone and get some of that social interaction that they need to, just keep themselves going. Now being a veteran myself, it may seem odd to be in a veterans museum, but I actually married into a military family. So you have a great appreciation for that and understand what it's like for a deployed family to have that distance and miss some of those it's all right. The deployments and everything with my family, that's just kind of, it hits me every once in a while, so.
My name's Paul Pedersen. I work for the Minnesota Assistance Council for Veterans. I'm a senior case manager there at our Duluth office. I am a veteran myself. I've served 27 years in the 148th Fighter Wing and retired in 2016. Our mission is to help end veteran homelessness, but we can also help prevent veterans from losing their homes. There's a lot of things that are happening now, especially under COVID, that where there's eviction moratoriums. People are not allowed to be evicted due to non-payment of rent. So we're still trying to help keep their rent paid, keep them employed, make sure that they've got the right benefits, and if they're due more benefits, to help connect them to the resources that they can apply for those benefits for their services that they've earned in their military careers. So connecting them to the county veteran service officers to see if they're eligible for benefits either through disability or other types. During these hard times, every little bit helps. We're finding a lot of mental health issues, so we're utilizing the VA and other resources to make referrals to and connect those folks to that so you can get the help that you need and find that housing that you need and enjoy it. So some of the challenges that we may see with some of our clients as well as anybody during this pandemic is the isolation. When you can't either have guests over or go, it's not safe to go out, you want to make sure you have contact. You want to be connected with people. I think the whole world has learned about Zoom and Skype and all of these other virtual connections, and a lot of times folks are getting engaged with that. But if you don't have access to that, the homeless don't have iPads necessarily. Your social interaction is important.
I'm Beau. I served in the military from 1983 until 2006. I'm a 20-year veteran. I'm currently residing at Bayshore Rehab and Rehabilitation Center at Park Point. I've been here for about 2 years. It's just a temporary stay. And before COVID, I had pretty much free rein to move around, and I did a lot of biking and walking and going around. But since COVID, I've been kind of pretty much stuck here. But like I have told people, and I've written about it, that it's not a huge deal for me. Basically, due to my military experience. I mean, granted, that was a long time ago, but it kind of sticks with you. We've been through worse. I've had to wear my military gas mask. I've had to wear that for hours on end, and you know that was part of the job when you're in the military. And so now, if I have to wear a mask, it's not a big deal. My stress is more geared towards my loved ones, my children. I have two sons in the military. They're going through their own dealing with the pandemic as they serve in the military. My situation is, of course, is a little bit more unique, but the way I think about it sometimes is, you know, I tell people, you know, I could be in a small pup tent in the middle of the desert in Iraq, but instead I'm in a nice room and I'm okay. So.
The Richard I. Bong Veterans Historical Center will do its annual Thanksgiving meal for veterans, but a little differently due to the pandemic. They will be offering curbside pickup for veterans and delivery to a limited area.